So this is a little tutorial on wild grapes. First, I like to take my wild grapes, soak them in water, and make sure you get any crud off them. I mean, dirt, bugs or something, you want to get that off. So just soak them a little bit. Then I like to get a food mill, and I put the food mill over a pot to collect everything that comes out. And then, it's super easy. Let's take these guys, pick the berries off. And I'll do a couple for you here because I want to show you the byproduct that comes from these is really, really useful. And it's something that a lot of people just throw away. But when I was experimenting in the restaurant a couple years ago, we had these really, really awesome grapes come in. They were these big Concords, and I knew that there was going to be flavor left over in the skin and the pits, because I know sometimes they make booze and stuff like grappa is made from the pits, which is an Italian spirit. And it's really something that people don't talk about a lot. I really like wild grapes too, because it's not like, I kind of think of berry picking. Berry picking is kind of laborious, whereas picking stuff like wild grapes, see, that's a rock. You don't want that. Picking something like wild grapes, you really get a high yield for a minimal amount of effort. I mean, I'm not saying I'm lazy, but I like to get more bang for my buck. Don't get me wrong, I'll be going out to pick black chokeberries tomorrow. So I want to make some mean chokeberry jam. But wild grapes are just so plentiful that it's really easy and cheap. And the flavor of these things will just absolutely blow your mind. You will never think about a grape that you buy in the store again. You can see they don't look like regular grapes. They don't come in big, huge clumps and clusters because, well, they're wild. So I will pick off a bunch here. You don't want to overcrowd your food mill, especially if it has a spring-loaded mechanism like this one does. This is a Rosley, which is a Swedish brand. Allclad makes a really nice one too. But I'll just start out with the food mill. Make sure it gets all of them in there. And then now use the scraping method and turn it the other way, and that's going to release all of the seeds. And you can go at them again and really get that juice out. And now use the scraper again, and now all this stuff is going to get released. So what I want to do is I like to save this. And you can save it and put it in the freezer. You put it in the freezer just like this, and you could make a wine from this. You could make an alcohol from it. But what I like to do a lot of times is I'll just take this stuff, and you could fill it a quarter way, you could fill it half of the way, and then you top it off with vinegar. And then you let it sit for a couple months. You can just do that in the fridge. And what's going to happen is you're going to have this wonderful, super dark purple vinegar. And that vinegar can then be combined with sugar and cooked down and made into a syrup. And then you can pour that on anything. You can even add that to meat stock and then reduce it and whip in some butter. And it really is just a great use of a byproduct. from extracting the juice from wild grapes. And that's how to process wild grapes.